Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, and I'm back to bring you my final episode review from Season 7 of The Loud House. Even though it was a shorter season compared to the previous 6, this was still a fun journey from beginning to end. Before I continue, I would just like to take a moment to thank everyone for watching and supporting these Season 7 reviews over the past number of months. You guys are awesome, and it really means a lot that you all take the time out of your day to listen to what I have to say about The Loud House. I truly appreciate it. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get right into it. Our last episode of Season 7 is Love Me Tenor. In this episode, Lincoln and Pals discover Gus has a secret passion for opera singing, and they try to help him overcome his shyness of performing in public. I was dangerously close to hating this episode because Lincoln and Pals were intending to sabotage Gus's performance and effectively destroy his dream, but surprisingly, everything else that happens before and after the intended sabotage makes up for it. So yeah, this episode turned out much better than I expected. Even though Lincoln and Pals were the main stars, the episode also gave a spotlight to Gus from the Games and Grub, and his performance was both relatable and sympathetic. As always, I appreciate any episode that gives a minor recurring character a leading role, and this one was far from a disappointment. We got to learn a little bit more about who Gus is and what he's into. He loves opera and he's very talented at singing, but he only sings when he's alone because he's too afraid to perform in front of other people. That's made very clear when he has a difficult time just singing in front of a bunch of stuffed animals, and when he tries to run away from Jean Juan's after his botched attempt at karaoke in front of an actual crowd of people. The kids wanted to help him achieve his lifelong dream of performing on a big stage, and I loved how super supportive they were every step of the way. Now I want to talk about some of the biggest highlights of the episode. Aside from the stuffed animal and karaoke training, all the singing performed by Gus and the kids were top-notch. Stella's contribution I particularly thought was adorable. With a little onstage assistance from the kids, Gus overcomes his shyness and finally shares his amazing talent with the world. He not only develops the confidence to perform in random places around Royal Woods, but eventually on a big stage like he always dreamed of doing. But then, much to the dissatisfaction of the Freckle gang, Gus turns the Games and Grub into an opera house, and the kids become bored with it despite trying to be supportive of their friend's new endeavor. That's when they intended to wreck the place by splattering food everywhere so they could get the old Games and Grub back. However, they changed their minds when Gus said he wrote and dedicated a song to them as a thank you for making his dream come true. That's why I'm not extremely critical about the intended sabotage the kids were planning to commit. Unlike other episodes where sabotage was being planned with no one second-guessing themselves before actually going through with it, the kids realized it would have been wrong to do something so hurtful to their friend, and they were ready to put an end to their plan before it even started. Unfortunately, the waiter took away the remote control before they could shut off the timers they set on the food machines. Usually this would mean everything would plunge into total chaos with everyone getting dirty and covered in food, but not this time. The kids jumped in front of the machines and took all the hits so no one else would be made to suffer. They do something similar towards the end as a way of making amends for trying to ruin Gus's dream. I don't say this as often, but I really like the moments where the characters acknowledge their mistakes and willingly take metaphorical bullets as a way of making it up to those they wronged. That's what the Freckle gang did here, so I would say getting hit with food makes up for their intended misdeeds from earlier. But anyway, the audience loved Gus's performance despite all the flying food, and later the kids got chewed out for what they had tried to do. They explained they missed the old Games and Grub, and even Gus had to admit he was thinking more about his own good time instead of how much his restaurant meant to the kids. Normally I would say it's Gus's business and he has every right to do whatever he wants with it, but I'll give him a point for coming up with a compromise that would make everyone happy. He brought back the old Games and Grub, and he decided to have a monthly opera performance similar to the one the kids inadvertently created. While it's never confirmed if Lincoln and Pals would always be involved in this dinner theater style performance, at least Gus can finally perform for people at his restaurant instead of secretly doing it at night when no one is around, and he has his friends to thank for that. Overall, this episode was a great way to bring Season 7 to a close. We got some development on Gus's character, the singing was exceptional, and Lincoln and Pals were able to come through for their friend in more ways than one. The story may have been simple and maybe Gus's shyness was a bit too exaggerated, but like I said, his presentation was sympathetic and relatable, so I can't really fault him for having feelings of apprehension. There was also a running gag with Liam trying to find his retainer, which actually helped kickstart the main premise of the story, and Rusty finds it during the final 10 seconds of the episode. Even Liam gets a happy ending, so that was nice. It may not be the greatest season finale the show ever had, but as far as I'm concerned, the season ended on a high note, and that's really all that counts. With that said, I give Love Me Tenor an 8.8 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Love Me Tenor. Before I go, I might as well ask, out of every episode in Season 7, which one was your all all-time favorite. My favorite was the holiday special, 'Twas the Fight Before Christmas, with Dread of the Class at a close second. Additionally, what did you guys think of this particular episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.